Do a testy test. 1, 2, 3. Test.
Test. 1, 2, 3.
Alrighty. I still don't really know how to start it, but
No, me neither. Hello, internet. Welcome to the Two Meets One podcast. I'm Handsome Banna and Highoctober as well.
hello.
I'm really happy. We've talked about doing this podcast since like grade 12, and we're just finally now getting around to it.
Very true. We've discussed it multiple times over the months. It feels like almost a year. Maybe it has been almost a year. Who knows?
It's been almost a year. Last time we talked about it was like tech class.
Yeah, it's something that we always discuss, but probably we'll never go through with. But at least we're giving it a shot. Who knows how long it could last,
giving it a
but
shot.
hopefully it goes a while.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So I think the first thing we should start getting into is social media. I don't think social media is a big deal. Especially right now, we don't have any bit of a following in the slightest. Not even 2 subscribers. I'm not even subscribed to this YouTube channel that I'm posting this on. But if it does get to a certain point, I think it's not a bad idea to plug some social media in, maybe like a Twitter. And I know Twitter is kind of like whatever, but it's probably like the best way.
We'll definitely do an Instagram.
Instagram wouldn't be bad. I wouldn't be against an Instagram. I definitely is somewhere where you can definitely plug it and definitely get some reach. Like, never on Facebook. No shots going on Facebook.
No
that is literally going nowhere.
No.
I'll get my mom watching it. I don't think I want that.
That's true.
I love you, Mom, but that's not happening. I still don't exactly know what I want to do with the video overlay right now. It's just our two talking over Discord. For the video portion of the podcast. I'm not sure if I want to add more to it. I do want to add more as time goes on. If we do make social media, I want to make like a little pop-up that comes on maybe like every 5 minutes for the video portion. And it'd be like, follow us on Twitter. And that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Social media is in the talks in some sort of degree.
Yes. Also, Spotify, not only on YouTube, but we were talking about maybe just putting our Spotify or our podcast on Spotify. I feel like Spotify, you can just look in the podcast section and then just see like things pop up.
I think it's easier to navigate.
It's easier to navigate. Yeah, that's true. And it's also, I feel like it's a better platform to kind of grow on. If you're like an artist or a podcaster, then you can definitely build a following faster on Spotify.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I think Spotify is a great way. There's a guy that I know. His name was Ethan. I think we talked to him a few times. It was the Wolverine Cool. I don't know if you remember that guy. But
I remember that guy.
He was on the Minecraft world that we played a while ago. He started his own podcast, and I think he did it on Spotify. I don't know if it ever did him good. I don't think he did many episodes, but it did look like a good idea. It does. And it's also kind of looks professional to promote in a way. It does. I think so. True. Another good way for podcasts. I know it's a lot harder. I'm pretty sure, but Apple Podcasts at some point.
Apple
maybe?
Podcasts as well. Yeah.
That would be a big step up. I'm not saying
that would be a very big step up.
I'm not saying it's like Spotify is bad, but I feel like Apple Podcasts are even easier to navigate because you can literally install an episode on your phone. I don't know what's like on Spotify. You might be able to.
Spotify, you can install episodes.
Can you?
I like upload or like install the episode on your phone?
You download it. So like if you don't have premium, for example, you can just like I don't know, listen to it on like a jog or something.
True. That's true.
Without having to connect to the internet.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if you have premium on Spotify, you can just download the podcast. But
yeah, you can. I think you can download the whole thing.
Apple Podcasts, you don't have to have a subscription for.
No, I think you just play. I think there's an option to download, but I think if you play it, if it like buffers to a certain point, you don't need to download it. It kind of like it's weird. I remember I used to watch the Smith Squad podcast. A very old, irrelevant YouTuber. I used to watch him when I was at my cottage because I had no internet, so I would just listen to him for hours. So I think Spotify is something I want to do at some point. I don't know how long it takes. I heard that you have to like. I've Googled it before, I'm pretty sure. And it's like you have to have like a SoundCloud, I think. And you have to upload it like on SoundCloud or something. and then Spotify connects it to SoundCloud, and then like uploads it. I don't know. It's some like tedious process, but it's a lot easier to get into Spotify than it is for Apple Podcasts. The next point I want to get into is episodes.
Episode discussion.
How frequent are we gonna do them, and how long? Is we gonna do an episode with someone every time? Is it going to be just two of us every time? Is it gonna be once in a while? Who knows? It could really be either or. I'm not too picky on it, but this is what I'm thinking, and we're kind of making this little, was it pre-production or episode 0 is what I classify it as.
Episode 0, yeah, like a pilot episode.
Yeah, like a pilot. I'm kind of making this like it's like a miniature podcast where it's kind of like we discuss it kind of together, and at the same time with like a little bit of a plan. I'm thinking the length. I want to aim for 30 to an hour, 30 minutes to an hour. That's what I'm thinking. Fair. I think 45 is a really good sweet spot.
45 is the sweet spot. Yeah, 40 minutes. That
would be really good. An hour will be kind of pushing it to a degree, I would say.
Yeah.
But as long as we don't go over an hour, I think we'll be fine. As long as we're not under half an hour, we'll be fine. Maybe if it's like, I don't know, what's a good example? Fucking Bill Gates. If he was on a podcast and he can only come on for 20 minutes, fuck yeah, we'll do 20 minutes. But if it's like some random ass person like Liam, sorry, your 20 minutes isn't gonna count. You're gonna have to make it at least 30. I'm sorry, man. No call outs, just an example. Yeah, and I don't know how often we're gonna do this. Do you have any idea? Do you have like preference?
I would say like as a starting point, at least an episode every like week and a half, 2 weeks, maybe longer. Depends how like motivated we are that day. If we want to do a podcast, if there's one scheduled, you know.
Very true. I don't think it's really hard for us to really sit down and record a podcast. It's actually probably a really fucking simple thing to do.
Yeah.
But it's more of just like you need time to.
You need the time because you're taking a victory lap. I am actually kind of busy now. I don't have a job, but I am kind of busy.
Yeah. People are getting busy. On top of that, there's kind of like lots of background things. Like obviously there's like school or whatever, but there's also maybe just times where you just rather spend time playing video games than maybe recording for an extra hour, or maybe there's no topics for that specific or given week. Because
very true.
Because I think there's gonna be. I want to do one a few episodes where it's just me and you talking. Not all the time.
Not all the time.
I want to say maybe every other, but I don't know. Maybe every. I don't know. Maybe 2 episodes in a row would just be me and you or something.
I mean,
because we don't have a lot of guests, and we don't want to stretch them out. Like you want to stretch them out to the point where it's like.
That's what I was gonna say. Like we don't have a lot of people that we can talk to in our Discord. Like we'll talk to like Mason, Liam, maybe Vanessa, whatever. And then after that, we've already talked to those people, and it's just going to be us 2, you know?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I fully agree with that. There's not much people. Maybe if the podcast gets to a certain, like, I don't want to say popularity or, like, if it gets, like, a decent community, maybe can have occasional people come on. Like, from, I'm saying this, like, we're going to be fucking celebrities, but, like, if there's, like, a fan or something that wants to join on, maybe we can do that once in a while. Maybe like one episode at the very end of a month or something. We can have a guest on,
like a special.
Yeah, like kind of like a special. Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea. But yeah, there's episodes will vary on a few things. Or how frequent they will be will depend on a few things. Yeah, I think topics is primarily the main one, and probably guests as well, because we're so limited. Mm-hmm. And I'm okay with having maybe repeated guests,
yeah, like
I'm okay with it, but as long as it's not like back to back. Like I want to, if you have repeated ones, I want to space it out between maybe another few guests. Like let's say if we did Liam, for example, first, and then we did Mason, Dave, and then Liam, I feel like that's still not enough spacing. We need to put at least maybe 3 or 4 people in between, giving him another episode. If you're listening to this, Liam, I'm so sorry for using you for an example for everything. I apologize.
Yes, sorry, pal. It's all in good faith.
Yes, exactly, precisely. So, I hope it I want to aim for maybe 3 episodes a month. That might be a bit much, but I want to aim for 3, like a
Three
minimum
episodes a
of
month,
3.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I think that sounds good.
Yeah, that's good for a new podcast, one that's like fresh out of the gate, just trying to build a following. I think that's perfect.
It's more than just that too. Honestly, you want to build a following, and because it's fun and maybe it's like a passion to do like a podcast. But one of my main motivations is just like looking back on something like that 10 years from now. It's if you stopped the podcast in 2 years, like we did the finale or something.
That's very true.
It'd be cool to look back in 10 years and be like, oh yeah, I knew this person really well back then. Now this person's now a doctor. You know, it's more of like, it's hopefully ages well. That's what I want to say. It's like, it's like a video diary, you know, or a journal or whatever. You just kind of talk about your life, what's going on, and then in 10 years or whatever, you look back and you're like, damn, I remember that happening. And I think that's going to be a really cool factor. It might be really depressing depending on the state that you're in. If you feel like depressed by yourself, pretty much bald or something, then that's going to be pretty rough looking back and seeing how happy you once were.
Yeah, but when you're bald, you make a lot of money.
Why? Oh, because Mr. Clean and my dad?
Mr. Clean, your dad, Johnny Sins.
That's true. That's very true. I guess time for us to get into like the next little segment I got going on here. Yeah. As content, I think we should probably comment on at least a little bit. I know we've already kind of dabbled in it within the last topic, saying how we want to have guests come on, which is something I hope it happens a lot. I don't know. We're still planning as we're talking, but definitely need guests. I think it would be a good idea to have like some sort of mini games, because I know some. I was listening to some podcasts, I think like 2 weeks ago, and they had like mini games. And I don't know what kind of podcast it was. It was just like some gaming one. And they do like a little segment where it was just like you have to guess the game with the description that's on. Like it's like if you go on like the Xbox store and there's a game, they'll read the description, you have to guess the name of the game. Like something just like cool. Something small, like it doesn't have to be gaming related. It's just like that's the thing that kind of inspired the idea. It's like a little bit of a mini game.
Yeah, I get that.
Or maybe it could be like, I don't know, guess the artist of this song, or guess the song. You know, something like small.
Yeah.
Like a miniature game that the guest could play. Not really us, but more of the guest that could play. Yeah. We can like shoot them the questions, and then they can answer it. And then it could be, let's say, out of 10 points. And then maybe if you do, like, I don't know if you want to do, like, a Season 1 or Season 2 kind of thing. I know some places, like, some podcast does it. But if you do, like, something like that, you can be, like, the top scorers of the top guests at the end of this season. Like, you're the winner of this season. Something like that. True. I don't know. I also have that I don't know if we should talk about drama. Because drama can be interesting. I mean,
drama can be like in between our friends, and it could be like a private thing, could be not.
Yeah, I think just that's an iffy one. I think drama's like, good because it's always good to talk about drama to a degree, but as long as it's not interfering with someone's life, like if it's something drama that's between like let's just say Epic Games and Apple because they have an ongoing lawsuit right now.
That's completely fine to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. We'll talk about
but if it's,
greedy corporations like Blizzard getting sued by was it California for sexual assault and misconduct and stuff like that. I don't know. They have so much things going on. Yeah, it's pretty bad over there. Like just like I don't know. It doesn't have to be gaming related. It could literally just be anything. Being like, oh, Ed Sheeran was caught masturbating in the shower with Taylor Swift. I don't know. It could be anything like that.
That's a random person to just pay.
Thank you. If you see this Taylor Swift, fly me out, and I will
both of us out, and we'll have
I
you
will
on the podcast.
Yes. We'll have you on the podcast, and I'll voluntarily ask you to give me front seat tickets to your next concert. I will volunteer for you to give me them. Yeah.
I don't know if that's how it works, but
it could work. Who knows?
You never know.
So this episode 0 pilot sort of thing is already at 15 minutes, which is not bad. There's also a thing that I never wrote down or anything, but I wanted to discuss it with you because I never brought it up prior. Do you ever plan on, or do you ever feel like once in a while. Or maybe that'd be the next big step, is to actually make them like podcasts live, like live stream it onto YouTube. Or do you think it's better, or like on Spotify or whatever? Like I don't know if you can live stream it on Spotify.
I don't think you can live stream on Spotify, but we can.
You can live stream it on YouTube,
on Twitch, YouTube.
You can live stream it on YouTube per se, and then you just take the episode and then you rip it and put it onto Spotify or Apple Music or whatever.
I'm not opposed to the idea. That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, it'd be a good way to interact with people that are in the chat. It's literally live, so if anyone fucks up and says something they can get you canceled, then, well,
yeah, you gotta be careful about that.
Get fucked then, buddy. I don't know. I think there's a good amount of ideas we got going.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
I don't know. We should have. I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking of so many things as we're just talking about it. One of the first things that was literally just popped in my brain right now was like, we probably could like announce when the first episode will be, because I don't think we've discussed when the first one's gonna be. And on the first one, if we're gonna do it, just me and you, or with a guest. I think we should the first one with the guest, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. It's called two meets one. I feel like we should honor.
Yeah, we gotta meet one person. You guys are gonna meet someone. Yes, the fans, the people listening,
You're gonna meet Liam.
Yeah, at some point. I don't know when, but we definitely have a few people. I don't know who we want to have first. That's something we gotta kind of figure out together.
That after. Yeah.
Because there is definitely people that we can have like in our videos or whatever on YouTube.
Yeah.
But maybe they just don't want to talk about whatever the fuck for about an hour, because maybe
about life, about
maybe because they know, maybe they don't want people knowing who they actually are or something, which I think is fair. But yeah, this is a project in early production. This project is being made with you guys with us. So
thank you, honey, for sponsoring this video.
Yes, thank you. And Mr. Beast, give me $1 million.
Mr. Beast.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Beast. Oh wow, I didn't even think about that. Like, if you get big to a point about fucking sponsors.
Sponsors?
Fuck, dude, I would take $5, dude. I would.
I'd take $5 as well, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, but that buys you a slice of pizza.
Very true. I can. Very true. At Toonie Tuesdays at Papa Enrico's.
That buys you a cheeseburger combo from Don's, pretty much.
That pretty much does. Yeah, indeed. Yeah. Even though I'm pretty sure I just doxed Cannington.
Get them like half off.
I just doxed the name of the town. Whoopsie. Anyways, I think it's pretty much been a while. I think we should start wrapping up this little segment fucking thing. I don't know what to call this. A pre-production? Episode 0?
Pre-production?
We're gonna wrap up episode pre-production. Episode pre-production is what we're gonna do. Or 0. But, do you have anything else you want to say before we go?
I'm excited to do this podcast, and I'm really looking forward to it. And any fans out there, please, we need at least we need the views. We need at least one viewer to know. Not even one viewer, because the one viewer is going to be you or me. So I want at least three viewers. At least 3 of them. Like, we'll have all three of you on the podcast. Yeah. Like, come on. We need at least a little bit of motivation. Like, come on. True. So thank you guys so much for tuning in for this episode 0, pre-production thingy kebabber. If you have any ideas or preferences or guests that want to get on, just if you have literally anything that you think we should do, comment down below. Because first on YouTube, we're exclusive to YouTube, LMAO. For now. For now, yeah. You guys so much for tuning in. Goodbye. Peace.